Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching the Joe Boo Sports Report. Some more news out in the NFL, guys. The veterans are getting cut left and right, and the Giants, well, they're definitely in the news. The basement New York Giants have now released Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie from their team. Kind of a surprise? Maybe, but it's one of those cap casualties and definitely looking to start over and rebuild the team. The defense, they spent basically $250 million on their defense. And the problem with free agency, when you end up spending a lot of money on guys, you basically have a 2-year window, because after that point, the players, generally speaking, decline, and the money that you owe them starts to escalate. And that's why you see guys like Dominique Sue, where the Dolphins are looking at getting rid of him. You start seeing all these big-name players that are being done, because in the end, you can't afford to pay a guy $10-15 million and be able to still compete. And in other news with the New York Giants, Odell Beckham, who definitely set the internet on fire on Friday night, has been silent on Facebook and Twitter. The person who shot the video, Laura, an aspiring model, has been contacted by the Giants and has basically said that Odell did not take any drugs that night. And they said, what was in his hand? She said, a piece of pizza. That's right, a piece of pizza was in his hand. When asked if drugs were present in the room, the only thing that was heard were crickets. No comment. So it's going to be interesting to see if the NFL will open up an investigation on Odell Beckham and or do some drug testing as well. Because, hey, that's what they do, at least if you're a Dallas Cowboy player. Now, the interesting part on this is how the reaction is. I always say if it had been a Dallas Cowboy player, and I can't wait to actually see First Take tomorrow, see what their take is on it, because they're pretty much all New York Giant fans, is how they view it. Are they going to say that marijuana should be legal in the NFL and this needs to change, or are they going to condemn him and say he can't stay off the weed, or are they just going to go ahead and blow it by? I can't wait to see what First Takes and the rest of the Talking Heads take is on that one. But it's kind of interesting because it's kind of quiet about the situation. One of my fans out here said that they heard something about it. They went to the internet trying to find out something on it, and the only thing they could find were my videos. Imagine if Zeke Elliott, who went to a club and somebody else brought a gun to the club, TMZ is saying Zeke Elliott detained by police, gun involved. Zeke Elliott was on a boat, actually on a jet ski, and the Coast Guard came through to check and see if there were life preservers. And the headlines were, Zeke Elliott's yacht boarded by Coast Guard. So here we have Odell, not on a jet ski, not in a club, laying on a bed with a brown rolled up something. A woman with a credit card slicing up some baking soda. And him trying to say he's trying to get her to sleep with. I hope the NFL CSI is on the case. So again, that's the latest news this morning, guys. I'm sure it's going to be a very filled day, because tomorrow teams are allowed to start talking with players. And I'm hoping and praying that the silence coming out of Dallas is they're working on something big. I'm Mark Holmes. This is Cowboy Joe Boo. And stay tuned to the Joe Boo Sports Report, so that way you can keep up with the news in the NFL.